Hey everyone, this is Cardell. Today's topic is hard drive caddies, and I have a official Dell hard drive caddy for a couple of servers that I have here that I've been working with for the last few months. They are Dell 2950 Gen 3s, and each one had a single hard drive caddy, like the official ones. And the problem is that every time I went to go and find one on eBay or resellers, recycled centers, whatever, they either were out of stock or they're like 20 bucks a piece, and I need 14 more of them. So my idea was to, since I have a 3D printer, try and see if I can find someone who designed a model and print it. And I have this one that I found, and I printed four, and they work fine, but I was not overly satisfied with it, and I thought it'd be a good learning experience for me to try and do one myself. My problem was that the front here is kind of hard to grab if you need to pull the drive out, and they're quite tight. So I decided to redo it from scratch. So I used my calipers, took some measurements off of this official one, and I came up with this design. So the screws are for a SAS hard drive, not a SATA drive, even though this Caddy has spots for both because you can get the little converter board thing that clips into these square pieces on the back, and it lets you plug in a SATA to SAS uh, hard drive conversion kit type thing. All fits on the same cradle, and then the drive pretty much goes up to the front, and then you have your rear point, which is here, and then the adapter converter thing takes up the back spot. So the SAS drive sits forward and is pretty much flush with the rear of the Caddy itself for the SAS itself. So I did the measurements, modeled this out, cut out. I designed the vent on the front so that it has fillets on the top so it doesn't require supports at all. And then we have the grip on the front. So this grip is I extended it out a little bit, but when it's in, it is actually flush. It's the same depth as the other one, so they're pretty close to the same amount that it sticks out the front of the case. Um, but there's a fillet on the edge, and it lets you kind of use either the side of your thumb, or you can kind of pinch that with your fingers and get a grip on it and pull it out. Um, I did do some changes with, so the initial thing was with the Caddy itself, with the drive in it, I screwed all the screws in and then measured the thickness. But when I printed this model, the thickness was too tight, and I think it's the 3D printing with the layer shifting that might have happened, the brim support, whatever. It was just a little too tight for my comfort, so I shrunk it down a little bit by like 0.2 millimeters or something like that now, where the drive still fits in. It screws in. The screws are flush, which will show you some pictures of every drive installed in it. And yeah, and it doesn't bind. The screws actually sit in flush. You can see they have uh, a counter bore and then a fillet for the tapered screw heads. And then these are slightly oversized holes, so they're like 3.2 millimeters instead of 3, which is what the thread size is for the M3 screws, or M4, M3 screws? Yeah, M3 screws. Um, so it's a little bigger, so because I didn't need to actually thread this part, I just wanted the clearance for it to sit flush. So after refining that, printing it 5 times, we will show you what it looks like. All right, so here is the front left side. You can see how flush the screws are. You can catch the bottom edge here. This is where the brim attached to it. I had to print it with a brim because of the right side is really thin when it's on the print bed, because I didn't want to do all of the dimensions and stuff like that. So I just printed it with a brim. It works fine. But you can see, everything kind of works pretty good. The right side, it protrudes a little bit. I could probably fine tune that, but it doesn't actually interfere because it is narrower than a real one, and it doesn't catch on anything inside the drive caddy. And this is a picture of it installed in the server. And these are those four of the original design that I printed. I'll just probably leave them in there, and I'll just print the remaining ones for these two drives that I haven't populated yet, as well as the extra 8 for the other server. But yeah, so that is essentially what we have, what we're working with here. It works fine. I don't see any problems with the actual device itself. When it's in there, when it's plugged in, it actually recognizes, so it's making a good contact with the SATA port or SAS port. Yeah, I think it's good. I will put a link to the Thingiverse thing down below. If this helped you, if you have any questions or comments or suggestions on how I could improve it, just leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.